enough to fit the whole family.
That could be the case. Also, what is this used? Oh boy. So, next up, the neighbor over there. Let me back. Let's try to avoid combat for now, because I'm going to get the feeling that the more wolves I smack around, the larger the packs could grow. I don't know why, I just kind of get the feeling. Well, this game sure likes its loading screens. Well, they're not even loading screens, the loading circle just kind of appears. And then goes away. Roy's house. How do I know this? I don't know.
It was so cold. Already Carl did not feel his toes anymore.
It's not even that cold yet. It's halfway. Get in there. Carl, don't be dumb. Is this locked? We fled, it was getting too dangerous, more people live in North Manastan, it would be safer there. Okay then. Why is it dangerous though?
It was a classic Canadian house, except for the absent horde of kids that would normally be swarming about.
That's what it's like to be in Canada. Let's just...
Simone de Beauvoir, Claude Lévi-Strauss, Hannah Arendt, Roland Barthes. Carl was surprised by the literature filling this liberal-leaning bookcase. Could there really be intellectuals dwelling in this far-off land?
Now, Carl.
The couple radiated something akin to lightheartedness, to freedom. Perhaps some people out there truly found a way to live happily ever after.
Let's not go down that road, Carl. You know, I'm going to have Canadians watching this thing. The fantasy, page 3. This is going to get my video age-gated. The first time he had met Beatrice, however, she unexpectedly revealed her troubled origins to Mathieu. She was adopted at the age of 4, and recalling her former life still gave her a hard time. She played the piano in so graceful manner that the people often thought she may be the natural offspring of a musical virtuoso. Virtuoso? She always cried before falling asleep, torn from the inside by dreadful pain she couldn't explain. She confided to him so profoundly that Mathieu couldn't get enough, coming back every night to learn every single thing of what would come out of that delicate mouth after pulling one last breath out of it. Every night he reflected on what the death of Beatrice would mean in terms of losses to humanity's common heritage, be it the sound of her sobbing or her piano melodies. The compulsive tapping of her long index finger on her temple when she harbored dark thoughts, or any other little thing, it didn't matter, everything would indiscriminately vanish. Everything. All these thoughts made for some blissful slumbers indeed. 10 days became weeks, and before he knew it, it was my first turn to throw his secrets at her. Hopes, his cries of despair, as if throwing coins in a wishing well. He'd be dead by the end of the month. He promised himself. I see. Novel page 4. Okay. The two lovebirds were still going at it 7 months later, though confiding fears and desires alike near the fireplace several days a week. The populace took notice, and wounding words eventually found their way to Matthew's ear, prompting him to take action to prove his gentlemanship. He had to ask Beatrice's hand in marriage. He would have more than enough time to kill her later. Shit! Today, when Mathieu stares at the motionless ceiling, just like he did 20 years ago, he still wonders what he would be removing from the existence by slitting Beatrice's throat, what he would be depriving his children of. Then, as he soothed it by his fantasy, he gently drifted off, whiling the night away. So free ammo. Well, we are going in a backwards order here. It was around that time Matthew met Beatrice, of mediocre beauty at the best. The girl with her distinctive features, cheeks covered with large pox-like freckles, dew nose, oily forehead, tired but vibrant eyes, shaded red hair, slender as a child body, chirpy laugh, you name it, it was the very image of innocence. That happened to be precisely the kind of victim Matthew was picturing in his mind, though. One night, as he was contemplating on the ceiling from his bed, he swore to himself again and again, I'll kill her. His dreams were later filled with the images of imminent crime. He had come up with a simple enough plan. One fine evening, he would visit her place to become familiar with the area's intricacies and feel closer to the impending murder, to slowly dig into Beatrice's thoughts, desires, dreams, and abilities. This way he would be able to get a concrete sense of what his sinister deed would be stripping away from the very fabric of life. The whole thing would take 2 days, a week at most. Yeah, how did that go? Instead of that you ended up marrying her. Kona Polly. You win if you pass go. What the fuck? So... Apple checkers. So, where's the... Ah, there's the first page. Matthew had yet to add murder to his curriculum. He was fond of new experiences, especially the most thrilling ones, and taking the life of flesh and bone individual who the night before was still able to think, dream, fantasize, calculate, read, held the promise of exhilarating sensations. Unlike Raskolnikov, it wasn't about axing an old Jewish hag to pieces to test some lunatic theory, not at all. Matthew just wanted to know how it felt. It seemed so simple, horribly simple. He didn't have any particular victim in mind. Like most people, his desires ran quite wildly, so he only had a vague idea of them in mind. He pondered using a rifle or a knife, assassinating a young girl or an old man. He tried to focus on practicability. His victim would have to be defenseless. Bodybuilding wasn't exactly Matthew's strong suit. He would have to act spontaneously, but not too much. He wasn't that eager to learn what spending the rest of his life in prison would be. Some experiences carry just too high a cost to be worth it. So we had a guy here who wanted to, or who didn't only want, but also wrote, thank you, wrote about a guy fantasizing about committing a murder. I can't help but to wonder if that's something he personally wanted to achieve. Let's go and get our car. Because it's not too uncommon that people write about quote-unquote fantasy about what's going on in their own heads, actually. I mean, I've done it. Of course, mine weren't about... Actually, I don't know. I'm pretty sure I wrote about murder at some point, maybe. Although it was pretty... that thing actually was pretty silly. Now, come to think about it. I can't really remember all the details to it, but it was such a silly idea. Would you mind? It was such a silly idea and a silly piece of literally to begin with that. I'm pretty sure that I didn't even manage to finish it before I was like, Finn, no, you are being stupid. And discarded the whole thing. But you have to get your inspiration from somewhere. I don't think that you can write about crimes and yeah, that's La chance. I don't think you can write about crimes and murder and such things unless you really like the idea of something like that happening and you want to have it happen in your life. You are channeling your own self. Why are you writing? I'm actually, well, it's basically all art comes from within, and within you, per se. You can't really be an artistic person if you have nothing to channel into your art, whether it be love for it or hate. So the guy probably wanted to commit murder himself.
That had to be the worst parking job ever. Who was Carl to judge, though? It may be customary to park like that around these parts. Or not. The punishing cold rendered the door frozen tight. Carl saw no way to open it.
Well, maybe we could find a way. Yeah, that was a fun little way to pass time, to discuss about what has to go through your head in order for you to write about murders. Okay, time to go. Where am I going though? Why did the music cut off? Hold on. Okay, no. This is why I don't drive. Especially when I can't see anything. Holy shit. This is a road, and that's...
Carl felt that the store and its surroundings still held their secrets, and he didn't like to miss out.
Okay, then. Whatever, Carl. And the surroundings still helps.
Carl wondered how long he would have to endure this skin-stinging cold.
Oh, for fuck's sakes, Carl. Hold on. I'll just do this instead.
A fire is as good as the materials used to create it.
There we go. And why don't you have any gloves with you? Do I have some form of crafting? Oh, I can use stake to get rid of the wolves. I don't have to fight them. Go 3 ammo box. Those are rifle rounds. Oh right, also I need to fill up the gas can. I'll fill that up and then I'll put it into the trunk of the car.
The pumps wouldn't surrender their divine nectar so easily. In all likelihood, they had to be switched on from inside the store.
My bad. I'll just leave this on.
The note explained that the garage and the store couldn't be supplied with electricity at the same time.
Yeah. Nothing else here, I'd assume.
Carl felt a chill down his spine and had a terrifying realization. If Hamilton was dead, then who was going to pay him?
Well, yeah, I do agree to that, but here we go. Now we'll put it here. There we go. Also put this here for now, we don't need them. Oh, this. This. Actually, let's take the tools. So what exactly should I do around this? This general store and its nearby areas. Okay.
Carl was beginning to know the store and its surroundings like the back of his hand. The Seeker had saw it.
So is that it? Now I can go? I mean, there isn't much of anything anywhere else. This way first. What do I know about my gas situation? Well done. Loading. There we go. Moving on. Probably could have just passed right through that, but you know, that's just... That's not nice.
An axe. Not too shabby. Carl felt he needed to protect himself.
So I can now get logged. Probably not. I'm pretty sure it's just a bit better than the crowd
It was a typical shack, just like the ones you hear about in Quebecois legends. Local lumberjacks used it to rest and twice a day heat up their pea soup.
Huh.
Who quits a game one step away from victory?
Well, someone did. Big ton. All these off-brand Canadian products here. And Canada is known for the
the leftover food,